Yeah, this is a presentation that is completely built on HTML5, JavaScript and CSS3. I've taken help from the internet. If I press the H button, this moves on. And if I press the right arm button, it proceeds to the next slide. The controls are as follows, and the space along with the N. Why is it
HTML, sir. It's not PPT.
In the base. It is built using HTML5, so there are no features like slideshow, screen and all that. Okay, now coming to the concept of web. The web in 1990 and 2009. In 1990, the first page was built. Okay, it was an HTML1. Then 94 we had HTML2, and in 1998 we had CSS. In 2005 we had Ajax, between PHP, JavaScript, and in 2009 the Chrome browser had the first piece of HTML5. In 2008 HTML5 was introduced, but in 2009 we had Chrome browser supporting HTML5. And IR HTML. Now, what is the use of HTML5? Okay, so we wanted the content of the web to be dynamic, less with JavaScript code and more with what you can interact. Okay, you need to use your brain as well as your programming skills to write a piece of JavaScript code. But to use HTML5, you don't need to know that. You don't need to use that programming skill of yours. You just need to know an attribute and you put it in your tag. Okay, so there was a need to integrate all the languages of the web. That was the first reason. The second was need for a better UI. This is a perfect example of better UI. This is a presentation. This is an application that is built using HTML5. So the whole application, the slide transition, what you see is the CSS effect, and the content that is being displayed is done using HTML5. Actually, it's not clear, but there is a kind of 3D effect. Okay, this is slide to the front and the background. Okay, that is one. And semantics were very important, and a well-known language like HTML was used to serve this purpose. And right. We have a simple form. Okay, see, this is what I call HTML5. This is a slide if you see it as a presentation. This is a web page if you see it as a form input. So it serves the purpose of both the form, web page and a slide. So that is the power of HTML5 and CSS. So this is to enter the college roll number. If I just see, you can see this, your college roll number. This is the placeholder, which is over here. Placeholder is equal to college roll number, and it is required. Required in the sense, all of you know that there are star marks to every form with your name, email, and they are all required fields. If I put the word required, it's done. It's required. And if I don't fill something and click submit, it just says please fill out this field. Right? And then there's a pattern. So I'll enter my college roll number. 05022. We'll see what happens. If I click on submit, it says please match the requested format. This part is the format. This is a regular expression. This is a pattern. It's called a pattern. Pattern is an attribute. So, and if I just click 2, it gets submitted and the page is ready. Right? That is how it works. This is a simple form. The code that you put in input is only this, but the effect, I mean, what you see is much more beyond that. If there was no HTML5, you would have to use JavaScript for all of this. And next, what is HTML5 built on? There are several technologies that HTML5 is built on, but the main technologies are the fonts. Suppose all fonts. One, this is not main, but WebGL. WebGL, what WebGL does? I hope everyone knows of OpenGL, which is the Open Graphics Library. So what WebGL does is it is like an interface for OpenGL on the web front. So every browser comes with WebGL, and the transmissions and all that are possible because of that. The effects are built in CSS, but the rendering part is done in WebGL. And we have multimedia content like video, and web storage is used for offline storage. Like you can just download a whole website. Before HTML5 we had, when we had downloading of a whole website, we used to save using Ctrl+S. If you save the web page as an offline page, you take up a domain name, say not Google.com, Google has dynamic content all over it. Say a static page, not Facebook, any static page. If you just save it for offline viewing, you'll have the whole website with the navigation and all that, right? Next we have multimedia tags, the audio and video, and there's a tag that's called audio, which needs the source, that's all. Audio, space, SRC is equal to file, MP3 file, MP3 OGG, and WAV, SWS is the video file. If you just say source is equal to MP3, it just plays that. And the video, you just give an SWF or FLV, it just plays. Only the tag, video space SRC is equal to 1.FLV, it plays video. And you have attributes such as autofocus or autoplay, and you can set controls and all that. And yeah, about the current presentation, it has the basic files, the JavaScript files which has 489 lines of code, CSS 447, and index files. This part is the index file. This has 490 lines of code. And next, jQuery and jQuery UI. Right, we had Ajax and JavaScript in 1995. We had Ajax in 2005. But there's a concept called jQuery. Now, why jQuery? See, in JavaScript, you need to write this for a ready function. Okay, so document.ready function. Whereas in jQuery, you just write this. The shorter the better. That is why we preferred languages such as PHP or Python or any shell script to automate a process. So what this dollar does, it just there are tags like get by tag and all that. So jQuery automatically analyzes all that and gets the element. So yeah, this is an example of jQuery. If you can just see this, there's a variable with country list. This is an array which has all countries, names of all countries. I just didn't put that up because it would take too much space. And hash countries is ID, country, and not autocomplete, and the source is country list, which is this. Okay, so I type in I, and it gives me the list of countries which have the name I. And if I just type India, that is India. And then this is the autocomplete effect which is created using jQuery, and there are selectors, attributes, manipulation, CSS effects. These are all effects, and event is like anonymous and all that. CSS, as you know, CSS has autobird and position height. Yeah, and the jQuery UI. jQuery UI has two basic parts. Interactions and widgets. Interactions are the graphable resizable components, and the widgets are the accordion autocomplete effect. And an example of modal box is this is an example of jQuery modal box. This is a link. Actually, you used to have a JavaScript alert, but in those JavaScript alerts, there were no option of putting in bold text or clicking links. So I can just click on close, and this is an effect using jQuery UI. And a nice example is what happens. Yeah, what happens is when a Facebook status is updated. Okay, how does you update Facebook status, right? Please just listen to this one. You know about this, okay? We just type in the text into the status field, and then an Ajax request is sent to the server. Okay, imagine this is your web page where you type in your status, and Ajax, this is the server. An Ajax request is sent to the server, and the client receives back information in the JSON format. And then HTML elements such as div, tag, and all those are added, but your status is not yet seen. The loading symbol that you see is the Ajax part. So a child element, what we are updating, the status, the new status is the child element, and this is the parent one. Okay, so this is n, and this status will become n+1. So that is added for newsfeed, right? So the fading effect and color animation comes because of jQuery. And yeah, very okay, what is the actual HTML file? Updated HTML version? Yes, it is an updated HTML. Currently we use HTML4. No, the HTML file is 36% complete. Actually, currently HTML what version? The standardized is HTML4.
No, HTML file is going to come, right?
It already came, but it's only 33 to 36% complete.
What HTML file is right? Date was here.
Gateway